What's up everybody, Furious Pete. You see the topic of this video. Chiming in on this as well. Lots of other YouTubers have done videos about this. You guys may have seen videos circulating the internet. They've been trending topics for the last little while. And it begs the question of me thinking, are these channels done? Is my channel done? Is Furious Pete channel, the main channel, done? Is this vlog channel done? What is going to come up next? If you guys don't know what is going on, if you guys are out of the, you know, some people haven't been on YouTube for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or months at a time, and you guys are like, what's going on? What the hell is going on? What is Egghead Pete talking about right now? Well, there's been a big ad boycott lately on YouTube. And basically what happened was, there's been a bunch of companies that withdrew their ads because they discovered that some of their ads were playing on racist videos, just controversial videos, videos that simply they thought that if their ads were played on there, which is true, maybe a viewer would think negatively of their brand. Something basically not necessarily the viewer necessarily would think negatively of their brand, but from an advertiser's perspective, if you knew that your ads were being played on videos that you didn't want them to be played on, you wouldn't want your ads being played on there. And so basically a bunch of companies found out that their ads were being played on videos they didn't want. More and more companies found out about this, and they decided to withdraw their dollar spends on YouTube videos, on YouTube ads. Which, as you guys may know, years ago, this wasn't really an issue. It wasn't talked about at all, like, at all. Like, I started YouTube in 2007, and I started taking it seriously in 2011, and even like early 2011, and even in early 2011, 12, 13, people did not talk about, making money on YouTube. It just wasn't talked about. It wasn't the thing that was focused on. It was focusing on the content that was being produced. That's what was important about everything. And then there was a lot of channels that started popping up that simply just it was all about clickbait and trying to get the most amount of views to generate the most amount of AdSense. And as a result, I've been a victim to that. I've tried not to do that much of it at all, but clickbait has transformed the YouTube. But years and years ago, it wasn't about the dollars or anything like that. It was about creating content, and that's all the viewers actually focused on. And now it's kind of changed over the years, and it's been a different focus. But, at the end of the day, YouTubers, if you're seeing videos coming from a YouTuber every single day or on every other day, and there's a lot of content involved in those videos, yes, that YouTuber is probably doing that full time, because that takes a lot of time. One, it takes a long time to create content. It takes a long time to edit videos, upload them. Everything involved in it takes time. And as a result, most of the time, if you are successful in generating views, if you are successful in getting subscribers, generating a fan base, a viewership, you can make it a full-time job. So now, basically what happened is a lot of ads got removed. They said hundreds of millions of dollars, even close to $1 billion worth of ads removed from the YouTube database. And this basically means that the ads that are left, the companies that are still advertising on YouTube, is a lot less, and a lot less videos get those ads. In fact, the videos that are getting those ads are apparently all the family-friendly videos. So I'm going to try and keep a lot of videos to family-friendly so that I can still make this my full-time job. But again, at the end of the day, I still want to stay true to who I am. But going forward, so that's where a lot of the ads are being placed right now. And then the other creators, the majority of creators, are getting the leftovers or getting nothing at all. And that is 100% true with my channel. It's 100% true with a lot of channels. And I'm not going to complain here and say, oh my God, like my channel's dying and dying. And a lot of people have said that, my channel's over, my channel's over. Again, clickbait. But saying their channel's over. But it is kind of true where if this does continue, these channels may not exist anymore. Content creators may not be able to keep making videos for a living, you know, going forward. But something I want to bring up before I get into that example on this channel, I would get anywhere between, let's say, $1, $4 per 1,000 views, depending on the content. You know, recent weeks that all this happened, my CPM dropped to about 15 cents. So that means I would get about 15 cents per 1,000 views. And if you can do the math and see that, for example, this channel doesn't generate millions and millions of views or anything like that, you can see that it does, you know, when your earnings drop to 10% of what you were making, it's very, very, very substantial, and it changes the way you look at things. So that being said, you know, I've always believed that you shouldn't, those of people that are on YouTube, especially at a younger age, start thinking that, oh, you know, I'm doing so well on YouTube, and they start thinking that this is the end-all be-all. They start spending the money they've made. They start thinking that YouTube is going to be their life. That is usually, you know, all good things sometimes come to an end. We hope that this isn't the case with this, but that's why I've always said you always want to have multiple revenue streams. If you can do that, especially as, you know, being a YouTuber is a small business. You know, it is a small business. Sometimes it's a big business. You know, you can have multiple employees, which could be still a small business, but whenever you do that, it is important to have multiple revenue streams. I, for example, do YouTube. We have an apparel line, Fierce Apparel. My greatest fans and my supporters are going to, you know, help me by supporting me by buying some apparel. Hopefully you simply like the apparel as well. I started a supplement company. I host TV shows outside of this. There's a bunch of other things. I'm a partner in a mouthpiece company, a performance mouthpiece company. I'm an investor in 5 different other companies. And that's what I've done personally. So I can not necessarily stress out like crazy when something like this happens. But what I want to get at, and I think something that is very, very important right now, and that a lot of people are maybe necessarily not addressing, is the fact that throughout the years as I've been a YouTuber, and I think other seasoned YouTubers can address this as well, is that whenever there are issues, and this is something that needs to ring home to smaller creators, smaller channels that are out there, you know, that are just starting and think that, you know, are depending on the small amount of revenue to keep growing, so that they can keep growing and make this potentially a full-time gig, is that YouTube has had many issues over the years, and people have had freakouts over the years. I remember there was a freakout in November, and I believe it's also correlated to the views that are happening right now. But in November, a lot of people were getting fractions of the views as they were normally getting. That happened to me. That happened to a lot of bigger channels that I knew of friends, creators that were doing videos, and they just basically, videos were not showing up for viewers, for our audiences. They were just, people weren't seeing our videos, and that was an issue. It was an issue on their end, an issue with the algorithm that was happening. And so that being said, that got fixed. I remember in November, my views just bottomed out, and I didn't know what was going on. We couldn't figure it out. And then all of a sudden, some things went up. In the past couple weeks, as maybe it's related to my treatment or something like that, people were as interested in the content that I was creating, or maybe there's an issue directly connected with the whole ad boycott that is happening right now. I remember years ago that there was also, like, every 6 months, I feel like there's an issue with YouTube. There's always something going on. You know, they're always, the site is so huge right now, and it's always getting bigger and bigger. Years ago, people wouldn't necessarily see the changes as much. You know, when there was so many less creators and so many less viewers, you wouldn't see if there was an issue as much as you do now, because people talk about it. And then people blow things sometimes out of proportion. Right now, I think that this is a huge issue with the ad boycott that is happening, and the fact that different channels get favored over others. And sometimes that makes sense, you know. Sometimes if certain advertisers want to be on a certain channel, then that makes sense for sure. But other content creators have made this site possible and have grown this site and have made this site. There's a lot of channels out there that truly made YouTube, and I don't think necessarily my channel did it. I feel like I've been here for a long time. Started a channel in 2007, and I've tried hard. I've tried very hard over the years. I've worked many years on creating the channel that I have, but I don't necessarily think that I am a guy that, you know, made this YouTube thing grow and blow up. I'm definitely a contributor to it, but there's definitely channels that really put things on the map. You know, PewDiePie has over 54 million subscribers or something like that. He brought a ton of traffic to the site, and he's actually one of the guys that got hit the hardest out of all of this, and in which I totally think that he shouldn't have. There's channels like Smosh that brought a huge audience as well. There's big channels that have a ton of subscribers that brought massive amount of viewers to this platform that otherwise probably wouldn't be going to this platform. And it's because of all these channels, and it's really the accumulation of all these channels put together that really grew this website. And it's not all these talk show websites, talk shows from TV that are on YouTube right now that created this site, that made this site possible, that made this site what it is today. It's definitely not what it is. It's definitely not what created this website, this community. You know, YouTube has to fix this. That's my opinion. YouTube will not exist without the smaller creators, without the independent creators, without the, you know, without the creators that aren't the big companies. YouTube will not exist. That is 100% true and 100% just, it simply won't exist. So when creators get upset, this is what I've learned over the years with YouTube. When creators get upset and there is an issue, YouTube fixes it, because they know that creators are the ones that have blown the site up and made it huge and made it what it is today. YouTube knows that. And so from my experience over the years, and this is what I hope really does happen, is that YouTube will fix this. YouTube will figure this out. Advertisers will figure it out and understand that they want to be on this platform. Advertising on YouTube actually has given the most results, ROI, which means return on investment, out of any other platform, including TV. TV has probably the worst ROI ever. And I know that advertisers are eventually gonna, you know, the ones that, for example, backed out, are gonna realize they need to be on this platform. And so going forward, I believe that we're gonna see advertisers bounce back up. I think things are going to be okay. I don't know, but that's my opinion on it. And if they're not, well then, twitch.tv/FuriousPlays. Maybe I'll create a Patreon page, buy some apparel, help out a creator like me if you can, but I think everything's going to be okay. Just an example, I've done a bunch of chemotherapy and cancer vlogs to assist other people, and most of those have been have not gotten any ads whatsoever. And I don't really care, because I didn't do that stuff for money, but it just goes to show you what kind of videos are not getting ads anymore, because they think content like that is not friendly. It's amazing on what videos are getting hit as being not friendly and not advertiser friendly, and what videos remain as advertiser friendly. So it is an interesting time right now. You're going to see a lot of content creators be pretty upset, but I think that in due time YouTube is going to figure things out. Advertisers are going to figure their stuff out, and things are going to be okay. So I don't see my channel going anywhere. I don't see myself going anywhere, even if I stop even if I start making this much money on advertisement on this channel and on the other channel. I will continue making content because I love making content, and you guys are the ones that grew my brand to what it is today, and I love you guys forever for that. So I'm going to wrap it up, call it a day, call it a night. Thank you again for watching. We'll catch you guys later. You guys stay sexy, stay hungry, and that's it. I can't say anything else. I can't even say stay sexy, really. This will probably get demonetized just for that.